Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2020 Razor Crest. It is set number 75292, comes with 1,023 pieces, including 5 figures, and originally retailed for $130. Although surprisingly, you go on Bricklink right now, you'll find there are actually quite a few brand new sealed copies of this set available for as little as $109. Just a couple of fun Easter egg bits of information with this set is that in Europe, this set is called the Mandalorian Bounty Hunter Transport due to some copyright issues with the name Razor Crest. And this is the first and still so far the only LEGO set I ever pre-ordered. So, I do have the instruction manual showing off the very awesome box art of this ship. But I won't be too surprised if this is the main planet in the Mandalorian. And again, then you've got the black Star Wars logo against the white Lego background with the Mandalorian and the character in the top right corner. Open it up. Just nothing too crazy going on. You got the basically how the instructions work and the instructions on how to use the brick separator, and then you have the Lego Builder app. Now opening it up, you can see it goes the bag numbers go from 1 to 6, and then it just jumps straight into the build. You have all your pieces in the back, and then after that you've got quite a few ads, actually. You have an ad for LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, including the code to be able to get the Razor Crest in Skywalker Saga for free. Plus, you've got quite a few sets showing off. So, on the first page, you have the Mandalorian Battle Pack, Pose X-Wing from Rise of Skywalker. You have the newest version of Luke's land speeder, the 4+ snow speeder, Obi-Wan's hut, the Zora Bliss's Y-Wing, and Kylo Ren's shuttle microfighters. There's the T-16 Skyhopper and Bantha microfighter dual pack. You have the Final Order Battle Pack with the Final Order Stormtrooper and Jet Troopers. You have the Dual on Mandalore set, and then you have the Final Order TIE Fighter. I legitimately forget the actual name of that ship. And then on the other side, you have the ITS Transport, General Grievous Starfighter, which I just recently reviewed. You can check. I'll leave a card up on the screen to my review on that set. Then, of course, you got this set. You got the second version of Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, the Knights of Ren Transport, the most recent AT-AT, the second iteration of the Death Star Final Duel, and then you've got the original 501st Battle Pack, and the Clone Wars Season 7 AAT. Quite a few of those sets I've done reviews on as of now. So, we obviously got quite a bit of stuff to go over with this set, so we'll go ahead and get started, starting with the figures. And first up, we can't have the Mandalorian ship without the Mandalorian himself. He looks absolutely fantastic with that dark metallic gray helmet and with the good the visor printing on it. No face print underneath, just a black minifigure head. Of course, we didn't. We may have known what he looked like by the time underneath the helmet by the time the set came out. I honestly don't remember. He does have his cape, which is a semi-soft, semi-hard. It's actually somewhere in between. Like, it's got the movement and functionality of the soft cape, but it's a bit of a rougher material. Very nice to touch there. The torso and leg pretty look pretty good between the different colors, uncolored armor. In fact, the torso is a tan or maybe a nougat color. Interesting color choice. It's got various metallic gray coloring all over between the belt, all the shots for his pulse rifles, parts on the chest piece where the paint has scraped off. Nice mix of metallic there. No metallic coloring on the legs, but that looks pretty good as well. No arm print, unfortunately, and you can lift up the cape to see what looks in the back where you see the bandolier strapped on the backside and a bit more metallic coloring. And of course, as I mentioned, his weapon is his pulse rifle, which only uses three pieces. You got the Han Solo style blaster for the handle. The main body is a lightsaber hilt in brown, and then you got one of these clips to get that the distinctive prong look in the front. It makes for quite a large weapon for a minifigure, but it certainly it looks good. But it looks like what it's supposed to. And I'm sure it does a good job. So yeah, that is your Mandalorian. Just a little quick note. This isn't. This is actually the armor for the Mandalorian based off the first 3 episodes, not the Beskar armor. So yeah, they hadn't come out with the Beskar armor Mandalorian just yet, but he looks really good. And strangely enough, that first 3 episode armor that this is much more rare than the Beskar armor, because this armor only shows up in the ATSC Raider, and I think the UCS Razor Crest. So yeah, very rare figure, probably very desirable figure. And next up we have Baby Yoda, aka Grogu. This was the very first set he appeared in, although clearly it wasn't. Although it obviously wasn't the last. I still am quite surprised they actually managed to get him as a minifigure. Of course, he does the main Lego baby torso in the brown with just a little bit of printing on the torso, and then with green hands and the custom head, with those big baby eyes and quite a bit of detail on the top of the head. Not as exclusive of a figure anymore as it was when it came out, but still a really good looking figure, very well done version of Grogu. And for figure number 3, we have Season 1 Greef Karga, the much younger the younger version of the same character that we get in the Imperial Marauder. Of course, with the unfortunate death of Greef Karga's actor Carl Weathers, we probably won't be getting any other versions of Greef Karga. Rest in peace. Anyway, they've got a good choice of hairpiece here. I do like the look for the main face, and he does have a secondary face with a much more angrier, possibly battle-ready face. His torso printing is rather interesting. He's got a little bit of his cape on the left side. I'm sure a lot of people probably wish that was a physical cape. But the rest of him of his torso is pretty interesting, with the about at the top interesting pattern on the main torso, plus the belt with, I believe that's just a little bit of metallic gold. Notice that his arms are like I believe that might be a light or medium nougat. He's got 2 Han Solo style blasters, and no printing on the legs, and just a little bit of printing on the back, mostly covered up by that cape, by the printed cape. So nothing too crazy going on with Greef Karga, but it is a nice exclusive figure to this set. And next up we have everyone's probably new favorite assassin droid IG-11. His main body is basically that of a B1 battle droid, just in gray. His same legs and torso piece, and the same combination of one of the regular battle droid arms and one straight arm, in which you see he's got the regular Star Wars blaster. And then his head, it's got, his attachment is the same clip piece you see on the end of the Mandalorian's blaster, plus a cone piece, and a printed 1x1 circular piece. This is I believe this print is exclusive to IG-11, and it does differ from that of what you see on IG-88. And then on the back, you've got a clip here which attaches to the larger Star Wars blaster rifle. So nothing too crazy going on with IG-11, but he looks pretty good anyway. And I believe, even much like Greef Karga, he is exclusive to this set. So another nice exclusive figure to this set. And for the fifth and final figure in this set, we have an Imperial Scout Trooper, probably in reference to the Scout Troopers that kill Queel and kidnap Grogu in the last 2 episodes of Season 1. I'm pretty sure that the whole figure line of this set is based off of the Season 1 finale. Anyway, this Scout Trooper looks absolutely fantastic, starting off with the helmet, so much detail, and just where the mouth would be, actually. Just all the detail in the front, between the visor, the little striping on top of the helmet. Like I said, the mouth, off on the side, on the sides, all the printing all around. That helmet looks absolutely fantastic. And despite, I'm sure a lot of people thinking that underneath is an angry clone face, instead we actually get a Lex Luthor face. So a little bit of expectation subversion, but nice that it's something other than an angry clone. As for the torso, again, that looks absolutely fantastic with all the details of the armor, plus a couple little pocket instances where the belt would be. All the detailing on the legs as well. No printing on the arms, but that's okay. I don't remember there being armor on the arms anyway. As you can see, he comes with another Han Solo style blaster pistol, and there's also some good printing on the back as well, where you can see where you can see like more armor printing and more detail on the belt. So all in all, a very good looking Scout Trooper, and a nice way to round out the figures of this set. And here we have the Razor Crest. This thing looks fantastic. It is kind of like your standard Star Wars big gray slab of a ship, but there are some good details on the stickers, like details on the engine, and some stickers on the sides to throw in a little bit of a little bit of a brown color on that gray slab. One thing I would like to note on this thing right off the bat is, believe it or not, how sturdy this thing is for a Lego set. I once accidentally knocked this set off of a good 6-foot bookshelf, and when it landed, it was actually landed relatively intact. I almost didn't need the instruction manual to figure out how to put it back together, so quite a bit of a surprise there. One thing of note on the bottom is that you see that this thing actually has some landing gear in the form of these 3 skids. They aren't like retractable like with the Quinjet I reviewed not too long ago, but they are there, so it is a nice touch for a ship of this size. Starting off from stem to stern, I will say that the front end, looking at this thing dead on, looks really good, with that almost studless look right there in front of the cockpit. Also, with that cockpit, that is a printed piece for the cockpit, so that is really nice. And they made it super easy for you to be able to get in there. Just grab a hold right here, and it just comes off super easy. There aren't any studs that's holding this thing on. You notice that there is a printed who choose what edge here with your usual control panel, and there is seating for two characters. So I'll go ahead throw in a Mando in there, and I think the other one will be Grief Karga. And it just has your usual red chairs with only two sets, so it's not easy to put the characters in and get them out. And as you see, they actually got some pretty decent space spaces for the characters. It's also with the cockpit taken off, you can kind of open the cone piece back here. You might be able to get, and you'll see that there is just a little bit of storage behind the second seat with a small 2x3 area. So you might be able to squeeze something in there. Go ahead and take the characters out of there. Underneath the cockpit, you've got the brick build guns, which look pretty accurate to the ship in the show, but they're also hiding something. Underneath the one on the left, you've got storage areas for weapons, plus a extra shot for the spring-loaded shooters, which I'll show off in just a minute. And when underneath the one on the right, you have a little bit of a sleeping area with some more stickers. It's showing off the details on the wall, which is really, really nice. Then behind the laser cannons, you may notice built into, I guess you could call them the wings, are a pair of very well integrated spring-loaded shooters, and those are activated by just pushing down on these graded pieces. Again, very well integrated. You can you probably wouldn't know they were there unless you were looking for them. So yeah, just push down on the graded piece, and they fire off. Very well hidden. It works just fine, and this is probably one of the best examples of integrating the spring-loaded shooter into a set if you don't want it to be super obvious. Up top, where you would expect to find a handle, although fortunately you don't really need this thing. This thing's pretty, as I said, this thing is pretty sturdy, so it doesn't really matter where you grab onto this thing. So they took advantage of that, and they put in a little bit of an escape pod. And let's compare those units in the back here, and it's super easy to open and up there, and there's of course space enough in the air for a minifigure. Just put the heavy down on these 1x2 tiles with jumpers, and it should be just fine. You can and on top of that, you can still see the face of whoever's in the escape pod, and it just goes in there just fine. Moving on, I would like to point out the engine detail. I remember putting like these sections on to be a little bit of a pain, but I do think the end result looks really good with that like flower look, with that almost flower looking design spread out. Out, and the whole engine sections are attached by a whole bunch of Technic pins. One interesting note when it comes to pieces is the back of the engines is actually made of like Lego Castle medieval style baskets in a dark metallic gray. Very interesting piece use, but it looks really, really good. Next up, you will notice that this entire section here just folds open. You got a side door here, then you got the main section here in the back on the side, and then the back bay door where it would actually open up, and it opens quite a bit, and you notice that there is quite a bit of space and there for your mini figures, and a couple of interesting details. Also, you can see a couple of carbonite bricks showing off some of the people Mando has collected for bounties. It's very much like the old style Han Solo in carbonite bricks, just with a sticker instead of print. So first off, you got this unknown human character. I don't really know who that is. However, taking a look at the second one, I do believe that this is supposed to be the Mythrol from the pilot episode of season 1, and then I believe the 4th episode of season 2, who was working for Greef Karga until he did some creative accounting. So yeah, nice little Easter egg there. And they just, let me get this up. They just slide into these two slots here. There's a 1x6 plate tile on the back to make sure that they don't move too far forward, that they stay right where they're supposed to be. So yeah, this whole thing opens up quite a bit. So there's quite a bit of play space in there. So yeah, that is everything in the set. And let's go ahead and move on to my final thoughts. So, what do I think of this set? Well, I think the fact that it was, as I said at the beginning of the video, this is the one set that I've pre-ordered. I think that I'll say something how much I liked this set. I liked it so much, so much I pre-ordered it. But yeah, this is a great set. I know that the price per piece for set people are gonna say it's overpriced. It's just over 1,000 pieces for $130. It's quite a bit over that 10 cents per piece. But again, I feel like the 10 cents per piece isn't the rule. If anything, it's the exception. But I do think you get a pretty good value for what you get here, especially considering compared to the Ghost and Phantom 2 I just recently reviewed. You get the same amount of figures. Well, technically, I'm not sure if I'd consider Grogu a full figure, considering he's a baby, but you do basically get the same amount of figures in a set that's an even higher price point. But you still get a good figure selection and a good chip for that $130. And I think it's a set that we may never see again, especially with this figure lineup. I mean, look at everything that's changed ever since this set came out. The Razor Crest has been destroyed. The Mandalorian is in his Beskar armor. Greef Karga may not be dead. His actor is dead, and IG-11 has been toast since the season 1 finale. So yeah, there's a good chance we may never get a play scale Razor Crest ever again. So it is nice that for those who weren't able to get a hold of it while it was on shelves, that you can actually get for lower than retail on Bricklink. So yeah, if you guys are a fan of The Mandalorian, I would recommend picking this ship. I would recommend picking this setup. It is a fun build. It's got some good figures, some good play features. And I gotta admit, it just looks good on a shelf. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm still surprised that we got a UCS version of this set. Admittedly, that set didn't get revealed until after the ship was destroyed in the show. But hey, I'm not sure if the guys at LEGO knew that the ship was going to get toasted. But still, this may be the only play scale version of the Razor Crest we ever get. So if you want a play scale Razor Crest, this is your one and only option. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Mandalorian or the Razor Crest itself, I would recommend picking this up. You're not going to regret it. So that is my review on this set. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. Helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. You can check out some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later, everybody.